Despite the best efforts of Donald Trump's quote unquote legal team, Eileen Cannon, the judge who's helped him out in many other areas, as well as 4 out of 9 of the Supreme Court's justices, Jack Smith's final report, or at least half of it, has now actually been released, part of the investigation into Donald Trump's criminal behavior. Trump is, of course, not happy about it, and we'll certainly get to that. But we want to jump into some of what was revealed in the report. And so I guess one of the lines that's being spread around the most, I don't know, just makes the whole experience hurt even more to see it. But Jack Smith wrote, but for Mr. Trump's election and imminent return to the presidency, the office assessed that the admissible evidence was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. So I guess on some level, we all knew that he thought he could win this thing, or else why would he be pursuing it? Now you might say, well, just take a wild swing. That's not how a Democratic Department of Justice works. They leave a whole lot of cases on the table that they could pursue, that they're either too scared of the political ramifications or the likelihood of getting a conviction, especially with so many judges being willing to go way beyond their role in protecting Donald Trump. But he's saying, no, we had him. If he hadn't been elected, we could have gotten a conviction at trial. And I understand that that is now kind of a moot point. It's not going to happen. He just gets away with all of the crimes that Jack Smith was investigating. But we can't, at least for ourselves, just let it go. Again, even if it doesn't matter, I will hold inside of my head and my heart, he broke the law. We would be far better off as a nation if an example had been made of him. Can you imagine if not just the rioters, but those who organized the riot, those who organized the fake elector scheme, and Donald Trump himself rotted in jail for the rest of their lives? What a strong signal about law and order that would send to the next petty wannabe tin pot dictator, the next Republican who thought, maybe I'll just sack the Capitol. Maybe that'll be fine. You know, I would love to win the election straight up, but if I can't, there's other ways to become president. Now, if Tucker Carlson wants to do that in 4 years, or if, I don't know, JD Vance or Ron DeSantis wants to do it in 8, why not try? There's so many ways you can be protected from justice, even if you commit all these crimes fully in public view. But instead, we went in a different direction. Now, Smith alleges that at one stage in the run up to the occasion, Trump told his running mate, Mike Pence, that, quote, hundreds of thousands of people would, quote, hate his guts and think that he's stupid if he doesn't comply with the plot to reject legitimate results from the states. Also angrily rebuking Pence for being, quote, too honest, which is just chef's kiss for like what the MAGA movement thinks Donald Trump is. And I don't even like Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a bad guy. Mike Pence's vision of what our government should be, I think, is wholly incompatible with an actual functioning liberal democracy. But he was being too honest. No, lie a little so we can win. And it's just amazing that they have that down and they think that he was the one stopping the steal. But anyway, Jack Smith described the plan to, quote, organize the people who would have served as Mr. Trump's electors had he won the popular vote in 7 states that he lost. Conveniently, just enough states to get him the electoral college votes he needs to win. Weird that there wasn't fraud in any of the others, just enough to make him win. Anyway, for the most part, the co-conspirators deceived Mr. Trump's elector nominees in the targeted states by falsely claiming that their electoral votes would be used only if ongoing litigation were resolved in Mr. Trump's favor. So not only was the entire plot both wildly unethical and illegal, they literally had to lie to the fake electors to get not all of them to stay on board with the plan, but most of them. Some of them balked at his requests, so they were replaced with substitutes. So when some of the people were like, look, I love you, man. I'm an elector for the Republicans. I'm an elector for Donald Trump, but you didn't win. We can't just steal the thing. They're like, oh, that's fine, go away. We're gonna get a bigger loyalist to hold the position. All this is super clear what they were trying to do. Apparently, one of the people involved with it is still facing legal action. I guess they'll be pardoned in about a week, so maybe they won't have to worry about it. But in all, Smith interviewed more than 250 people. They obtained grand jury testimony from more than 55 witnesses, and that's it. Just nothing. He did it. He did it. And you could go across all these. He stole the documents. We all know that he stole the documents. We know that it's a crime to steal the documents, but it doesn't matter that he stole the documents. We know that he tried to steal the 2020 election. He was willing to kill elected members of Congress. He was willing to have his own vice president brutally murdered, possibly torn apart limb from limb by a wild mob that he riled up because he thought that that might set the stage for him to fully flip the results of the election. And it doesn't matter. We're just supposed to move on as a country. We're not going to get justice for this. We won't, at least on some level, have to wait that much longer for some sort of ultimate justice. Donald Trump is an old man who has spent, the better part of half a century being in horrific shape. So he's not going to plague us for that much longer. But it's still like in the same way that Bernie not winning in 2016 is a thing that I'm going to hold inside of me for the rest of my life. The fact that Donald Trump is not going to spend a moment behind bars for the many, many crimes he committed is the ultimate injustice. I was going to give you his response. Screw him. It's just lies. That's all it is. That's all you're going to get from him. It's lies and trying to deceive people. He knows what he did. He knows what he did. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.